Welcome everybody, Film Fan 108 here to my Blu-ray pickup video for June of 2018. And this is the video where I show you all of the Blu-ray pickups that I got for the month. And I got a small but decent sized stack for the month to show you guys. So let's get to it, shall we, with the first title I picked up for the month of June, and that is none other than The Hurricane Heist. Yes, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Hurricane Heist here. And man, I saw this movie in the theaters and it's cheesy, it's ridiculous, it's over the top, but let me tell you something, it's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's really sort of brings me back to a lot of those old school 90s sort of disaster movies like Hard Rain or stuff, even a little bit like Twister, stuff like that. It was really cool. I really enjoyed this. Now, basically, this is about this woman played by Maggie Grace. She is basically babysitting old money that's going to be destroyed, and some people break into the facility and they want to steal the money, and she has to end up fighting against them and trying to protect the money. And also, all the while this is going on, there's this huge, crazy storm, hurricane that's coming to the town, and she has to try to battle the hurricane. It's all kinds of craziness, all kinds of ridiculousness, guys. I really love this film a lot. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but it was actually for me. I really did enjoy the hell out of this movie. And it's directed by Rob Cohen, who directed Fast and the Furious and Triple X. I love those movies as well. I was really happy with this, and actually the 4K Ultra HD looks really fantastic with this movie. So does the Blu-ray as well. And it comes with some really great special features here. You get audio commentary with the director, you get the Eye of the Storm making of the movie, VFX reel, deleted scenes, and a Hollywood conversation with the director, Rob Cohen. He talks about all of his filmography. He talks about the changing nature of Hollywood, how it used to be, how it is now, how to make films, and things getting financed. And it's a really fascinating discussion. It's a really great movie, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm very happy to pick up Hurricane Heist right there, guys. And the next title that I picked up for the month of June, none other than Death Wish 2018, starring Bruce Willis. And I saw this as well in the theater. And, I wasn't expecting much from this movie. And I don't know why. I don't know whether, because I really love that first Death Wish with Charles Bronson. It is such a great, gritty movie. I love that one. And I was unsure because this was directed by Eli Roth, and the last few films he's done I haven't really been a big fan of. But I really loved this a lot. I thought, man, he did a phenomenal job with this. Bruce Willis kills it in this role. He basically plays this doctor who has this great family, and one day these guys break into his home, and they end up beating his daughter into a coma and killing his wife. And he decides he is going to try to be a vigilante, find these people, take these people out, take justice into his own hands. And I just thought that the gore in this was great. I thought the killing in it was great. I thought that it's one of the better remakes to come out in a long while. And there's not a lot of great remakes, guys. I thought that the brutality was really good in this, and I liked the message of it. Even though the message gets a little skewed of like, well, take justice into your own hands, but I'm not saying people go out and get guns and just start attacking everybody that just walks on their lawn. But I thought it was a really fantastic little movie, and I thought that they did a really great job with it. And yeah, looks great on Blu-ray. It was really great. Unfortunately, this never got a 4K Ultra HD release. It only got Blu-ray. I know that they were going to do 4K and that they ended up deciding against it. I think that Something about that they just canceled it. I don't really even know why, but yeah, it only came out on Blu-ray and then DVD, so I just got this. And the special features aren't bad. You get a commentary with Eli Roth and one of the producers. You get deleted scenes with optional commentary. You get some of the extended morning show segments. Those you get a Vengeance and Vision directing Death Wish small featurette as well. Not bad special features for this title. And again, I really enjoyed it. I thought for a remake that I wasn't really expecting much out of, it really ended up surprising me. And I would say definitely give it a chance. If you're a little hesitant on it, go in with checked expectations, but I think you guys might enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed Death Wish. Then the next title I picked up, I got through Vinegar Syndrome. They had a halfway to Black Friday sale, and there wasn't much I was going to pick up, but I definitely wanted this one that I had wanted in my collection, and that is Orgy of the Dead here. Look at that wonderful slipcover there, right there, very nice here, and the inside art as well here. Very, very cool as well. I like that. That's a good cover. Now, as I've said to you before in previous pickup videos, I am a huge fan of Ed Wood. I love his older titles that he did, Plan 9 from Outer Space, all those things that he did. I have the book about his life. He's a very fascinating filmmaker to me. I think he's a really, really interesting guy. And is he the worst filmmaker of all time? No, he's not the worst filmmaker of all time. He's got a unique vision, and yeah, it might be a little cheesy, but I tend to like it. And I know that Vinegar Syndrome has been putting out some titles. Now, Ed Wood didn't direct this movie. This movie was actually directed by A.C. Stevens, and this was written by Ed Wood. I still wanted to pick it up because I am an Ed Wood enthusiast, and I really wanted to get some titles that even though he didn't direct, I still liked. Like I got, I think a couple of pickups back, I got Fugitive Girls. That was also directed by A.C. Stevens and written by Ed Wood, which is a great one. And this one is, God, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is like a nudie picture. I mean, this really is. This is a nudie film. And it stars Criswell and this other chick that's trying to look like Vampira, but not really pulling it off very well. And they're like ghouls in a cemetery, and there's all these sort of women dancing around naked, and they're repenting for their sins or something of the past, and they're coming from hell or something. It's really weird and really bizarre, and it's honestly it's just your basic nudie film. There's no real creative essence here. There's no creative material here. It's just women dancing around naked and a very flimsy plot sort of based around it. That's about it. And these were the kind of ones that Ed Wood was doing at this time. He was doing these nudie novels and making these nudie pictures as a writer. And this was one of the more famous ones that he actually did, Orgy of the Dead. But I actually really did want to pick it up. I wanted to sort of do it as sort of continuing the collection of Ed Wood, so to speak. And I think that Vinegar Syndrome actually did a really great job with this. I think the transfer looks pretty good. I like the artwork on it. And the special features aren't bad here. You get a commentary track with Rudolph Gray, who's an Ed Wood biographer, and Frank Henenlotter, who's an exploitation filmmaker. He did Basket Case and Brain Damage, Frankenhooker, those movies. And it's a great commentary. They really delve into everything about this film. Ed Wood himself, A.C. Stevens, great commentary. You also get impressions of Naida, an interview with one of the actresses who played one of the new dancers. She had a great interview talking about how she approached her scene, and that was really interesting. You also have Orgy of the Dead, an interview with one of the actors in the piece, still gallery, subtitles. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. If you kind of like those nudie pictures, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I wanted Orgy of the Dead for the collection. I wanted it, being an Ed Wood enthusiast, loving Ed Wood, kind of a completist. I wanted this, and it's one that I may not go back to all the time, but I'm glad I have it in the collection. Orgy of the Dead. Then the next title I picked up is a romantic comedy that I really enjoyed when I saw it in the theaters, and that is Love, Simon. The Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. And when I saw this in the theater, I loved the trailers and I wanted to check it out. And I like romantic comedies. I'm not always in love with every single romantic comedy that comes out there. I think some of my favorites are things like You've Got Mail, which has an interesting aspect because of the internet and the dating of that, and things like Harry Met Sally and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a big fan of those type of old school romantic comedies, and Love, Simon is a different type of one. It's basically about Simon, who is this teenager in high school, and he has a secret, and the secret is that he's gay, and it's difficult for him to tell his mother and tell his father and tell his friends, and he doesn't want this secret getting out, and basically he ends up trying his hardest to not let this secret out to people. In the meantime, there is actually this kid in school who is actually coming out, but he doesn't, his code name is Blue. He's putting himself out there, but not exactly saying who he is, and he's contacting Simon, and they're going back and forth. Simon doesn't say who he is, and they're kind of emailing, and Simon falls for him and tries to find out who this person is, and it's a little complicated, but it's a really nice romantic comedy. I really did enjoy it a lot. I thought it was really unique. I love the performances in it. I thought Nick Robinson, who plays Simon, he did a fantastic job. He really nails the role. You really feel for the character. I love all the characters in this movie. They're really fantastic. It was really great to see Jennifer Garner in here as well, who plays the mother. I really did thoroughly enjoy this. It really is a great romantic comedy. It's unique in that it's a character who's gay, who's trying to find himself and trying to find love in the time of being in high school and the internet and people judging you. It has a great message, which is that it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, gay, straight, bi. It doesn't matter. Everyone deserves a great love story. Everyone deserves someone in their life. And I really did thoroughly enjoy this movie, guys. I think it was really fantastic. And the special features here, there is a lot. You get deleted scenes. You get a bunch of featurettes talking about the adaptation, the actors, talking about shooting on location. There's an audio commentary with the director, producer, and screenwriter, a gallery. There's a lot of great material here, and it is a great romantic comedy. I would easily recommend it to you guys. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Love, Simon yet, and you love romantic comedies, it is a recommend from me. Definitely check it out. And the next title that I picked up is a title from MVD Rewind. Oh boy, I was so happy to get this, and that is Abominable, right there, the slipcover from them. I love the little kind of cool little stuff they put on the slipcover. I think that's really cool. And the reversible, which is just pretty much the same artwork as well, nothing really different exactly. And I used to have Abominable in my collection years ago. I had the DVD, and what happened was I was getting rid of, a lot of DVDs, things I felt I didn't really need, and I got rid of Abominable, and I was so regretting getting rid of that movie. But I didn't buy it on DVD because I was worried that at some point somebody's going to put it out on Blu-ray, and thankfully MVD Rewind did. Basically, the movie is about this character who is played by Matt McCoy, and he is paralyzed off of an accident that happened to him, and he is kind of somebody who has issues with depression, and he lost his wife, and he's somebody who is trying to get his life back together. and his psychiatrist and everyone decides, you know what, the best thing for you is to go back to this cabin, this lodge where everything bad happened in your life, where the accident happened and everything. And he's reluctant to go, but he still does. And while this is all going on, there is this weird looking creature, like a Bigfoot creature, that is stalking and killing people, and he is, um, because he's paralyzed, he sort of has the binoculars, and he's seeing people die, and he's trying to get people's attention, and he's trying to do something about it, but no one's believing him. And it's a really effective little sort of science fiction horror thriller movie. It's actually really, really cool. And it reminds me a lot of Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window, and I know they took a lot of inspiration from that movie. And I really enjoyed the hell out of this. I thought it was actually a really interesting movie, and I love the design of the Bigfoot creature there. I think the design is really cool. And yeah, it's a little bit low budget, but I actually enjoyed the kills. I thought the kills were really gruesome in it. I actually love the whole idea with the character of the guy here played by Matt McCoy, who, you know, again is trying to be the hero, but he's in a wheelchair, and he's not the typical hero guy. And it's actually a really fun, interesting horror flick. If you like Bigfoot stuff, I think this might be right down your alley. I think it's one of the better Bigfoot films to actually come out in a long while. And you get a lot of great features here, a lot of stuff that actually got ported over from the DVD. You do get a new introduction from the director. You also get an audio commentary with the director and a couple of the actors. You get a making of Abominable. You get deleted and extended scenes. You get a student film from the director. You also get the original 2005 version of Abominable, and you also get a newer version of the film as well, with a little bit different effects and them color grading the movie a little bit differently as well. You get a lot of stuff, trailer, storyboard gallery, and much, much more. You get a ton of stuff with this release. It's definitely a worth it buy for me. I love this movie. Abominable is, again, there's not many great Bigfoot movies out there. There really isn't. And I think this is actually one of the better ones. And if you guys haven't checked it out, what are you waiting for? Check out Abominable. I think you guys would like it. Definitely give it a whirl. Abominable. And the next title I picked up was a movie from Epic Pictures, and I was really interested to check it out. I liked the trailers; they were kind of bizarre, but I was definitely interested. And that is Director's Cut here, right there on Blu-ray, right here. And this movie is a very interesting movie. It stars Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller, and he plays this guy who is he helped crowdfund this movie that's being made, this sort of thriller horror movie. And this guy is obsessed with this one actress, Missy Pyle, and she's in the movie, and he ended up doing this executive producer credit, and he's on set every single day, and he is stalking her, and he's looking over her, and he's just being genuinely creepy. And one day he goes into his dressing room, or her dressing room, and ends up kidnapping her and forces her to finish the movie, but do the movie that he wants to do. It's kind of weird because the movie, this whole movie is basically played like like the character of Herbert Blount, played by Penn Jillette. It's almost he stole the footage for the film, and he's re-editing the movie, and he's putting in his own clips and the Missy Pyle clips that he did himself, and it's a very bizarre, weird movie. It's hard for me to even explain it to you guys, but it is. There's some horror in it, but it's more comedy than it is horror. Um, I think again they wanted to go a little bit more in the comedic tone than the horror tone, and it's a decent film. It's not a great film. I didn't love it like I was hoping I did, but I thought it was actually a pretty decent movie. I liked the whole conceit around it that he's re-editing this movie and he's pretending to be the director and he's putting in the footage of Missy Pyle as she's sort of tied up and she's doing scenes because he's forcing her to do scenes, and going back to footage of him stalking her and him sort of basically telling the audience that he's doing the right thing and he's better than this movie and he's fixing the movie and everything. It's just a really weird, bizarre movie, and it's hard for me to really even sort of talk about it. I will say that I think the movie's interesting. I like Penn Jillette in it. I think he does a good job playing this sort of weirdo guy who's obsessed with her, and I think the movie's overall really well done. It definitely plays out more like a comedy than it does horror, but genuinely speaking, if you like that sort of thing, it's not a bad movie. And I know that this film was originally like crowdfunded by a lot of fans, and I never knew about this until I got the Blu-ray, and they actually have a whole featurette on it on the Blu-ray. And there's actually at the end of the movie all the credits of everybody who contributed to the film. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a labor of love. You could tell that they really wanted to make this movie, and it's just an interesting little horror comedy that I would say give it a chance if you like these type of movies. But there's actually a lot here. You get a featurette here talking about the movie, the making of the movie. You get audio commentary. You get them at the LA premiere talking about it, deleted scenes, outtakes. Yeah, you get a lot of very interesting material with this movie. Uh, it was a blind buy for me. I didn't love it, but I am glad I gave it a chance, and I do recommend you guys give it a chance when you sort of check the movie out. Go in with tempered expectations, but I think you may still enjoy it regardless. Just again, low expectations. You guys might still enjoy it. Director's cut, right there. Then the next film I picked up was a couple of Laura Gemser titles. Now, in last month's Blu-ray pickup video, I talked to you guys about a couple of Laura Gemser titles that came from Severin Films. And I was really interested to see if there was more Laura Gemser titles out there on Blu-ray that I could pick up. Thankfully, I did find a couple, and one of them from Code Red is Emmanuel and the Deadly Black Cobra, right here. Very interesting cover. And as you can see, the back here as well. Yeah, really interesting, guys. And basically, the movie is about this woman played by Laura Gemser, who is an exotic dancer. She dances with snakes. It's sort of her profession. And Jack Palance, yes, the Jack Palance from City Slickers and everything like that, he's in this movie, and basically he plays this guy who's obsessed with snakes. He loves collecting snakes and collecting things, and he is obsessed with her. He decides to offer her a job of just being at his place, just being with me, and I'll give you everything. I'll give you money, I'll give you cars, I'll give you jewelry. You just have to be with me and, give me advice when I ask for it, everything. And she does that. And basically, all the misadventures that happen, all the nudity and the weird, odd stuff that happens in the movie. It's an interesting film. Basically, there's a very thin plot here, guys. The plot is razor thin here. It's basically an excuse for Laura Gemser and other women to get naked here and sort of play with themselves. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and it's not a bad movie. I was really surprised Jack Palance was in this movie. I was not expecting Jack Palance at all, and again, it just shocks me sometimes. You think you see all the things that these people are in, but apparently not. I don't think he's ever really talked about this film outside of actually doing the movie. I can see why. Yeah, it's an interesting film in the fact that it's a very sleazy film. Again, a lot of sex, a lot of nudity, But again, Laura Gemser is really interesting in it. She's beautiful. She's very captivating. You can see why she did other movies that she was as popular as she was. And it's definitely an interesting title. I'm glad I picked it up from Code Red. And actually, the movie looks really good from Code Red. They did a really great job with the transfer, I thought. And you also get an audio commentary with the writer of this film as well. And that's a very fascinating discussion with him. Yeah, it's not a bad little title, I guess. Laura Gemser sex title, one to add to the collection of other Laura Gemser classics, I guess. Emmanuel and the Deadly Black Cobra, right here, guys. And then the next title that I picked up was another Laura Gemser title, this time from Scream Factory, and it's none other than Women's Prison Massacre. Here, as you can see, the cover there, very nice. Also the back here too, you can see that, very cool as well. And now, last month, I got Violence in a Women's Prison, and I could have sworn at that point I thought I had seen the movie before. I didn't see the movie before. I actually remember it almost being this movie, and that's why I thought I had seen it before. Basically, this movie brings back a lot of the actors from Violence in a Women's Prison and put them in this movie. It's not a sequel, it's just a different prison story being told, just with a lot of the same actors playing different roles. It sounds weird why they didn't just make it in kind of a sequel, but I really don't know too much. And basically, it's about Laura Gemser plays this woman that's in prison who basically is trying to survive, and there's um, a lot of violence and a lot of killings going on, and she's trying to survive it with a couple of women that are her friends. And all the meanwhile, there's actually like 4 or 5 prison inmates, male prison inmates, who are coming to the prison in order to be transferred. And there's a riot that happens, and all hell breaks loose. The guys torture the women, and just sex and nudity and violence ensue. And it's just really, it's another one of those women in prison movies that I actually really did enjoy. I thought it was actually really interesting. It's not as sleazy as Violence in a Women's Prison, but there is still some sleaze in here as well. I like the performances. I think Laura Gemser is pretty cool in this, playing this woman who's trying to stand up to the prison officials, but also very vulnerable as well. I like the male prison inmates. I like the riot that happens. It's actually a pretty cool little title, and again, Scream Factory does a pretty good job. I like the transfer here. The unfortunate thing is that there's no special features here. Scream Factory didn't put any effort into any special features. There's not even a trailer, which I really wish there would have been. I would have loved to have seen a trailer or something for this movie. Unfortunately not, but I really did enjoy the movie. And again, I've been buying a lot of these sort of women in prison movies as of late, and this is another one to add to the collection, guys. I am definitely interested to check out more if there's some more cool stuff. And if you guys have not checked out this Women in Prison flick, I do recommend it. It is a little bit long, it's a little bit overdone, but I think for the most part it's actually pretty cool, and I think you guys would definitely enjoy it. Women's Prison Massacre. Definitely check it out, guys. And the next title that I picked up, actually a couple more Code Red titles, 2 titles that I was really interested to check out. I wanted them from Code Red. There was a great price on the Ronin Flicks website, so I just went for it. And the first title that I picked up from Ronin Flicks on their deal that they had is Cut and Run. And you can see the slipcover there that I got from them, very nice, and the reverse art as well here. You guys can see that. Cut and Run, very cool as well. I like that. And this film is directed by Ruggero Deodato, but it's not an actual like cannibal movie. It's not a cannibal film. even though there's a slightly cannibalism in it, but really not much. Basically, it's about this TV reporter and her sort of cameraman friend, and they go to the jungle to try to find their boss's son who went missing. And all the meanwhile, there's this cult leader who is sort of attacking village people, and there's sort of this mystery of why he's doing it or what's going on, and they have to go find the son and try to survive the jungle and survive this cult leader and all the crazy stuff that happens. It's an interesting little movie. I actually really did enjoy it, and I was surprised how many actors are in this motherfucker, man. There is Willie Ames, there's Richard Lynch, there's Lisa Blount, there's Eric LaSalle, Michael Berryman, Karen Black. Jesus Christ, man, there's a whole shitload of fucking well-known actors in this thing. And I was surprised. I really like it. The violence in here is it's not extreme violence. There is some that is extreme, but it's very mean spirited. Very mean spirited violence. Michael Berryman is great in this as sort of this sort of guy who's just really crazy and doesn't talk and is just sort of this psychotic dude attacking people. And he does a really great job. Everybody does a fantastic job in this movie. The violence is, like I said, pretty cool here. I like the jungle setting. I think it's a rather interesting movie from Ruggero Deodato, who has done a lot of cannibal movies. And this is a very, like I said, a very interesting sort of exploitation jungle film, violent, mean spirited, in your face, but I definitely really did enjoy it a lot. And I thought Code Red did a really great job here. You get the R rated cut in here, and you get the unrated cut as well. I watched the unrated cut, and yes, there's moments where the unrated cut goes into footage that almost looks like really bad VHS footage, but I don't think they could have cleaned it up very well. But I still think overall Code Red did a really great job with the picture quality. And there's actually a lot of really cool stuff in here. You get brand new interviews with Willie Ames, Leonard Mann, John Steiner, Ruggero Deodato. You get a trailer here. Of course, you get a brand new 2K scan. There's a lot of really cool stuff here, and it's an older title from Code Red, but I was really interested to pick it up. I like Michael Berryman a lot, and I sort of heard a lot about the movie, and it didn't disappoint. I was actually really surprised by it. And yeah, if you guys have not seen Cut and Run, I do recommend it. Definitely check it out when you get the chance. And the next title that I picked up, the last title, last but certainly not least, another Code Red gem, I guess I would say, is none other than Serpent's Lair. Yes, so Serpent's Lair, I had never heard of this movie before, guys. I had never heard about this, but I really like Jeff Fahey a lot. And Jeff Fahey, you know, whether it's Lawnmower Man or his little stint that he did on Lost, I like him in Darkman 2 and 3. Oh, actually, no, Darkman 3, I should say. He was in Darkman 3. He did a really great job there. And I like Jeff Fahey overall. And to me, I had definitely really enjoyed him in this movie. This movie is really about Jeff Fahey's character and his sort of girlfriend or wife, I'm not really sure exactly. And they move into this new house, and there's this cat that he befriends and sort of comes and goes. But what he doesn't realize is this cat is actually a succubus that basically sucks the life out of you by having sex with you. And and sort of she's coming on to him, and she's preying on him and preying on his sexual needs to sort of suck the life out of him, and he's trying to stop her, and his life is turning terrible, and he's trying to figure out a way to escape it. And yeah, it's sort of this interesting little horror movie that, like I said, I had never heard of, guys. No way I did. But I really liked it a lot. I thought that Jeff Fahey was really cool in it. I like the actress in here who plays the succubus herself. Um, Her name, God, what is her name? Yeah, Lisa B or something like that. Yeah, she played a really great role in the movie, playing the succubus. It's again like there's a lot of sex in here, but really nothing graphic. Like they really don't show you a lot of stuff, guys. It's very much like a little bit here, a little bit there. But it's just it's a little bit comical. I like the horror with the witch slash succubus. I like it, and again, I had never heard of this title, and I guess what I really love about places like Code Red or Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Sever, and all these places is that you find titles that you've never heard of before, and you try to give them a chance. And Serpent's Lair was one of those where I was easily wanting to give it a chance, and I was pleasantly surprised. She hunts to mate and mates to kill, pretty much, right? And it was really a pleasant surprise. A little weird, a little odd, but it's a movie that I I actually enjoyed more than I thought I was going to enjoy. And unfortunately, Code Red doesn't have a lot of great stuff here. They have a brand new HD scan of the archival elements, and actually the picture does look pretty good for what it is. They have a brand new interview with one of the female stars, Heather Medway. She talks about this movie and she talks about um, her career in general. A very interesting interview. I really like that interview a lot. And that's about it. I did contact Code Red a while back and ask them um, because they were waiting to release this to try to get an interview with Jeff Fahey. And unfortunately, Jeff Fahey kept on dodging them, and it seemed like he didn't really want to do it, and they just decided what the hell, they're just going to release the movie anyways. I wish we would have heard from Jeff Fahey. I would have loved to have him talk about this movie, one that I had never heard of in his career, but yeah, unfortunately not. But it still is a really great little horror title, one that was definitely unknown to me, but I was really happy to check it out. Serpent's Lair, right here. Alright, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray pickup video for the month of June. And yeah, small but decent stack here. And again, I didn't do a lot of Blu-ray and DVD shopping this month. I definitely wanted to save up a little bit more for July, and there's a lot of really cool releases coming out in July. A lot of really cool like stuff from sort of the independent studios like Scream Factory, bigger releases that came out a few months ago in the theaters that are finally hitting on Blu-ray and DVD. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for the stuff coming out in July. But let me know what you guys picked up for the month. I definitely want to know what you guys got. Some of the cool releases, let me know. And if you like the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray pickup videos. Check out the Blu-ray DVD out and about videos I do every single week. And also check out the movie reviews that I do with my friends every single week as well. Plus much more movie-related content on the channel. If you like what you see and are a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and be a part of the Film Fan Nation. I have a passion and a love talking about movies and physical media. I've been doing it for years with friends, and I finally brought my passion to YouTube. And I've had a lot of wonderful people come on board the channel, movie lovers, great subscribers. I love them all, and if you love stuff on the channel, definitely come on board. And also keep up to date with all of the videos I'm posting through my Twitter and Facebook page, FilmFan108. I also post my exclusive stuff on the Facebook page as well, so definitely keep a lookout for that stuff as well. Alright guys, I will see you back next month for a brand new Blu-ray pickup video. Happy hunting, guys. Take care. Bye.